All right, welcome in, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Schneidel. That's John Kutchko, and we are back in a familiar mode here with winter weather advisories.
Yeah, this almost takes me back to last week, and I'm getting quite excited with some of these potential totals.
That's right. And for some of you, you're going to end up with more than half a foot of snow on the ground. For others, a little bit less than that, but still an impactful system. And we still have snow on the ground, so all we're doing is we are adding to this. Your live sky eye this afternoon, you see everybody getting ready to drive home. This is fine. It's cloudy. It's not snowing. This is the last commute that will be unaffected by any kind of wintry weather. The snow should arrive, we think, close to midnight. Now, by 10 o'clock south of the thruway, it's probably already snowing. It's lifting from south to north. By midnight, snow should be falling across the entirety of the viewing area. And it's also possible, John, this could start as maybe a 10 or a 20-minute wintry mix with temps that are still above freezing, but it's all going over to snow. That's the easy part of this forecast. Wouldn't know it with radar right now. Clouds are back. Got some sunshine earlier this morning.
Yeah, it was nice.
And speaking of that, where have you been over these last few days?
You know, I had a field day listening to your guidance. On Saturday, I went to Cooperstown, and they had amazing beauty there. Also had about a foot of snow, too.
That helps, too.
Friday into Saturday, and I think we got, there it is, along the Susquehanna River. Eric, this is where the Susquehanna River begins. Flows down to Binghamton and so forth. Huge river. That's off of Otsego Lake. Look at that footbridge. Something out of a fairy tale, really. It's on private property. I got permission to go down there and take some shots, get some video clips, and it was just sensational. This is not far from the Baseball Hall of Fame. Take a listen to the sounds of nature for a moment as I pan to the right and the birds are lurking. Oh. I thought they were singing to me. It was a great way to begin the day. Very cold, 10 degrees when I got there. But this is as majestic as a wintry morning after a snowstorm can get. Very peaceful, little blue in the sky.
Is that Derek Jeter back there?
The Jeter will be lurking there in the summer for sure. They'll have the biggest crowds they've ever had. I've covered about 25 of those induction ceremonies back in my sports days. They will have probably the record crowds there for Jeter. And what a scenery.
And you've got that all to yourself.
Right there.
Scene just
oh my goodness, it was amazing. It took me a while to find because it's in the thicket, but once I found it, it was wonderful.
Pretty shots.
Yeah, I hope we get something like that
as usual
tomorrow.
We're going to get a little bit more of this. So this is it. This is what's coming our way. We'll throw this on here too. All of this purple, and it's almost all of the state of New York. I mean, that's the only chunk south of Albany.
Yeah, the Hudson River.
They've decided not to, which is odd, by the way, because you see.
Other side it does.
Different weather offices. I feel like they'll probably end up buttoning that up and getting it in line. But for some clarity out of this, remember last week at this time, we had winter storm warning. So there is a difference out of this. The winter weather advisory, a couple of things are changed with that. You're going to get less overall snow, but more importantly, it's less overall impact. Now, that being said, there will be parts of the area that could get more snow this go-around than last week.
Sure.
But the difference is it happens over a longer period of time, so it doesn't fit the qualifications of a winter storm warning.
Yeah.
And then we have the one that's one higher than that, the John Kutchko warnings.
I don't think the National Weather Service is a big fan of that.
It's not sanctioned.
Right.
But
it will be in due time.
Yeah, we'll give it a few more years.
But this is, we're having fun here, obviously, but this is good the way you explain this, because when you get those alerts to your phone, maybe it makes you or helps you understand them a little bit better, the difference between an advisory and a storm warning.
And it brings up a great point with this. This is not, you know, when you have an advisory situation, which is what this is not the kind of storm where we're going snowstorm, school's out, we're going to have major travel headaches. These are going to be generally mild to moderate impacts. So, yeah, it's going to take you extra time to get to where you're going, but it's doable.
When you get the John Kutchko warning, I can tell you the chances are you're going to be with me near a railroad track within safe distance, of course, to get the shots. I'll be there tomorrow.
We haven't had to issue one of those yet this winter.
Not yet. I'm sensing, I keep telling you, March Madness.
Now, let's have a conversation, John, about this one. This is our official snow accumulation map, if you will. And what this is going to do is this will carry us tonight all the way into early Friday. So what we're doing here is we're combining both the system snow and the potential for lake effect. The vast majority of our viewing area is going to get 3 to 6 inches of snow out of this. Again, not a snowstorm, but it's going to make everything look pretty, and it'll be slow driving. Now, what about this pink area? We've got 6 to 10. I want to be as crystal clear about this as we possibly can. This gets into the lake effect side of this. So, if you've lived here long enough, you know how this works. Some bands will be there, and then there'll be dead space in between them. Even in this pink area, those that end up missing those lake effect snow showers end up with that.
Sure.
What we're highlighting in this pink is isolated, localized spots will be capable of getting 6 to 10 where those snow squalls persist. And there's no way of knowing right now where that's going to be.
Very similar to last week. So when you woke up Saturday morning and it was not snowing, but then as the morning progressed, it started to snow hard on the eastern side by Wayne County.
That's exactly how this is.
And it added to the totals that you already had from Friday.
But what we don't want to do is have everybody that looks at this in Monroe County and into Wayne County and Ontario County and Yates, and they're going, man, we're all getting 6 to 10 inches out of this.
Not the case.
Some of you will, but some of you are still going to fall into that. That's just where the higher capability is with those lake effect bands setting up. Tough driving ahead out of this. I think the worst commutes are going to end up being tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. There will still be some issues around with snow through Friday morning, but the bands are waning by that point. I think by the afternoon on Friday and certainly through Saturday morning, it's less of a snow issue and more of a cold, and this is just, that's brutal. I mean, they've had a few of these when you get toward the Adirondacks. You were a part of some of those.
Oh, yeah. No, the North Country, the Adirondacks, this is nothing new, even this winter, when the rest of us haven't really experienced this. This is reminiscent of exactly 5 years ago this month when we had record cold the month of February throughout all of Western New York, set several records throughout the month, and virtually every waterfall in the region, and I was documenting them, I was doing sports then, were all frozen. And I'm talking Letchworth, Niagara Falls, gargantuan waterfalls frozen over. The ice volcano at Letchworth was 55, 60 feet high. It's not anywhere near that.
And this is the cold that's capable of doing that, but it's only going to be for
one day.
One night.
Conversely, that 5 years ago was over the whole month, basically.
Yeah, and we'd have some big issues with that this go around, but look at Saturday.
Amazing how it climbs so quickly.
30 degrees with sunshine. We're melting the snow.
Think about that. You just showed a graphic that says below zero, wind chill, 15 below Saturday morning, and then you're talking 31 degrees by the afternoon.
Isn't that wild? You could be near 40 on Sunday.
Amazing.
That's how our winter's been.
It certainly has been, and that's why so many people have colds and flu and everything else. I mean, it's been crazy.
And all the while out of this, we are still, as we sit here now, in advance of this snow coming in, top of the mountain for snowfall across the country. We are going to be padding that lead as we go throughout the course of the next few days. This might be our year.
I think it is.
We'll see. We'll see all of you at 5.
Take care.